Sanskar, tell me something about yourself.
My name is Sanskar Tripathi. I am from Rewa, Madhya Pradesh. I did my schooling from Kendriya Vidyalaya, Rewa. Thereafter, I did my graduation in geography from Delhi University.
Okay.
Thereafter, I continued with geography in my master's.
Okay.
And ever since then, I started preparing for civil services.
Okay.
My hobbies include watching movies, sports, and trekking.
Okay. So regarding UPSC, any attempt you have given?
Yes, sir. I have given 3 attempts.
So what is the outcome of those attempts?
Sir, I cleared prelims, but I could not clear main.
So you're optional in UPSC?
Geography, sir.
Geography. Tell me, Sanskar, differentiate between the geography of your location and Uttarakhand, geography of Uttarakhand.
Sir, Uttarakhand is a hilly state, while Madhya Pradesh is a plateau state. And owing to this difference in elevation, the geographical landscape of both the states are very different. Because elevation of Uttarakhand, it varies from around 1000 meters to even beyond 6000 meters. So it has a very variable kind of terrain, which leads to a very variable vegetation. While in Madhya Pradesh, the average elevation ranges from 300 meters to around 1000 meters. So the vegetation that it leads to doesn't differentiate much. Moreover, the climate that results from this difference in topography is also very much varied in Uttarakhand compared to Madhya Pradesh, which has a more of a deciduous kind of a uh, general climatic conditions. While in Uttarakhand, it ranges from evergreen to deciduous to even alpine forest and general climatic conditions.
Okay. Tell me why the Uttarakhand was recent in newspapers and in news.
Uttarakhand is recently in news because of Char Dham Yatra, because people from all over the country are visiting the state, and they are visiting not only the Char Dhams of the state but also different landscapes and different even many are visiting different alpine forest and different eco locations, and it is the best location. It is the best duration to visit the state currently.
Okay. So can you tell me since you have mentioned the Char Dham Yatra, can you tell me all the Panch Prayag from north to south?
If we start from north, the first Prayag that we witness is Vishnu Prayag. Then if we go further down, there is Nand Prayag, then Karna Prayag, then further down there is Rudra Prayag, and then finally we have
Dev.
Dev Prayag.
Okay. What are the natural hazards which is associated with Uttarakhand?
Because Uttarakhand is a hill state, especially the huge mountainous terrain of Himalayas, we have a different types of hazards. Starting with, we are situated on seismic zone 4 and 5 of earthquake hazard, and especially the hills, they are in seismic zone 5, while in the plain and the sub hills we have seismic zone 4, and with that we have a huge hazard of landslides, especially in the more sub-hills areas, because the mountains of and the geology of Uttarakhand, they are not consolidated. So the mountains, uh, they are younger in origin, so they are uh, prone to landslides. Then we have due to high mountains, we have uh, we face the issue of floods and as well as cloud burst, because there is sudden elevation compared to the plains that leads to that leads to clouds that climb up the mountains in quick succession. So it leads to orographic rainfall, causing cloudburst and flooding. Moreover, we also have in upper reaches of our Himalayan regions, we have issue of glacial lake outburst, whereby the lakes of the glacial lakes of uh, upper reaches, and their moraines are breached, so they cause a huge flooding in downwards regions.
Okay. Anything more you can add?
We also have other issues such as forest fires, which we have
Okay.
recently witnessed on a large scale. That has its origin due to large-scale deforestation that was undertaken under British. Then we also have thunderstorms and
What is Bambi
in
bucket?
hmm, what-
Bambi bucket was in news recently. Bambi bucket.
yes, sir, Bambi bucket. It is a huge tank kind of a structure that is that is used by helicopters to drop waters in the much remote forest areas, and it contains around 500 to 2000 liters of water,
Oh,
and it is able to reach very remote location very effectively. So it was
okay.
used for the first time this year.
Very good. Very good. See, since you are a geography student and you know very well regarding the physiography of Uttarakhand, tell me how Sanskar sustainable development can go through in Uttarakhand along with the economic development, industrial development. How will you coordinate these two things? The environment and the economic development.
Sir, in our state, such as Uttarakhand, we do not have an option of just an economic development because we are faced with so many hazards that we have to take care of sustainable development. And to achieve that goal, first tool is the geography itself, that we can use sustainable tourism, such as ecotourism, to generate revenues which can help in developing the economy of our state. We have beautiful valleys such as Valley of Flowers and number of national parks that can be used, that can be much publicized to attract tourists. Not only tourists, but the quality tourists, which adds to revenue. Moreover, the Char Dham Yatra and other avenues that we have, we can use that to. We need to plan those because we cannot stop the people from coming, and because it's devotional. But we can use that for if someone is coming from remote places, we can make them acquaintance with the local culture, and we can make them like recently the House of Himalayas brand has been launched. So with that we can tell them the various specialties of the state, such as bal mithai or rajma, or we have different fruits and different specialties from our state. So we can use that to generate revenue for our sustainable development. Moreover, we can also use our state for community tourism, and there are many tourists that want to visit the remote locations of Himalayas to get a feel of that place.
Okay.
So we do not need to bring huge industries in the hills to make development. We just need to have these small incentives and give our local artisans a chance to get developments.
Okay, you have just mentioned the word tourism, and which is quite important, you can say, for Uttarakhand, okay, regarding the revenues. Can you name any few schemes of tourism which are there in Uttarakhand?
I could not listen to you. What you
Can
said.
you name any few schemes of tourism related to tourism which is at present here in Uttarakhand?
Sir, Deep and Gadwali tour, Pariyatan Prabhotsahan scheme. It is there
Okay.
to train the local people regarding that, regarding tourism. And so there are few more schemes, but I cannot recall them at that.
Okay. Uh, who was Veerchand Garwal? Who was
Uh,
Veerchand Garwal?
Veerchand Gadwali was a member of British Indian Army. He refused to fire on the unarmed Khudai Khidmatgar troops of Khyber Pakhtunkhwa. while British authorities ordered them to shoot during the non-cooperation movement, during the civil disobedience movement in
Yes.
1930. So, like, he refused to follow orders based on his conscience, and as a result, he is forever immortalized in our folklore.
This episode is better known as. This episode is better known as
Sir, I cannot recall this.
Peshawar Khan. Peshawar
Yes, sir.
episode.
Yes.
Peshawar. Okay. Uh, Recently in February, there was some riots in Uttarakhand. Have you heard about those riots?
Yes, sir. We're talking about the Haldwani riot.
Haldwani riots. Okay, yeah. So in those riots, there was a term used, Nazul land. The buildings were constructed on Nazul land. Sanskar, can you tell me what is Nazul land?
Nazul lands are basically government lands which government leases for some specific purpose to a community. But the
Sorry, I'm
government has,
interrupting you. I'm interrupting you. How the concept of Nazul land evolved? First, tell me this.
I cannot recall this.
Okay, okay. You don't know how the concept of Nazul. Actually, Nazul lands were earlier the princely lands. When the British left, those princely land were taken by the government, and that land government used to lease to the for different purpose. Okay, okay. See, अभी आपने बात की regarding the sustainable development and all those. अभी एक उत्तराखंड में एक रेलवे लाइन जा रही है ऋषिकेश टू कर्णप्रयाग. डोंट यू थिंक कि इस तरह का अभी अभी उसमें सिलक्यारा टनल का भी लास्ट नवंबर में एक इंसिडेंट हुआ था. डोंट यू थिंक कि ये हायर माउंटेन रीजन्स पे इतना ज्यादा डेवलपमेंट रिस्की अफेयर है?
Indeed, it is a risky affair, but our rules, they allow for different regulations that are to be followed for such development, such as we conduct intensive survey and economic and social surveys so that the effect on environment that is being minimized. And moreover, there is rules for compensation of land and all those who are losing their land and livelihood. They are to be adequately compensated. But it is the responsibility of government to defend this land as well, because these railways, they will be eventually used by army and our defending folk to preserve our national unity. Because Uttarakhand is a frontier state, so not only it has the responsibility of a sustainable future, but also to defend our country against the external threat. So it is a kind of a sacrifice that we have to make to for our country, and hopefully whatever the deforestation that is being undertaken, that will be compensated in other areas, such as the frontier areas where we have less forest. So we can compensate that.
Have you ever been to Uttarakhand, Sanskar?
There have been there multiple.
तो कहाँ एरिया आपने विजिट किया उत्तराखंड में?
Sir, Nainital, and then Haldwani, and then within Garhwal, Haridwar, Rishikesh, and surrounding areas.
Okay. So geographically, Haridwar is you can what you consider, what is geographically the Haridwar is in the middle Himalayas or the outer Himalayas or the greater Himalayas?
Haridwar is basically the area where plains start just after hill, so it's kind of a terai area where all the sediments that are being brought up by rivers from mountains, they are being dropped. So it creates alluvial fans and fertile land. So that this area, basically it's a Piedmont plain kind of a area.
Okay.
Where all the sediments from the hills, they are dropped to create slightly higher land, but which is kind of a swampy land, but it is controlled due to creation of canals within Ganga River. So the swamp and the the siltation that can be caused, it is limited to an extent due to dams and as well as canals.
What is the difference between Duar and Dunes?
Dwar is a pass whereby we can enter a forest, we can enter a mountain region such as Fort Dwar, and Doon is a longitudinal valley uh, uh, where there is a plain between two longitudinal hills such as Dehradun.
Okay. Sanskar, can you tell me the hierarchy in a descending order from district magistrate and below?
The hierarchies.
Uh, just from district magistrate to the all the subordinates below district magistrate.
So the head is district magistrate, then SDM, additional district magistrate,
ADM.
then ADM, then sub-district magistrate.
Hmm.
Sir, but I cannot go beyond that.
After SDM, since you are preparing for the SDM and you don't below SDM, then that is Tehsildar.
Okay.
Below Tehsildar, there is Nayab Tehsildar. Below
Okay.
Nayab Tehsildar, there is Kanun Go. Below Kanun Go, there is Patwari.
Okay.
And below Patwari, that is Amin. Okay.
Okay.
So now it's futile to ask the function of Amin in all those. Anyways, tell me, संस्कार अभी उत्तराखंड को वंदे भारत से जोड़ा गया है. Who designed वंदे भारत?
I cannot recall it.
अभी इलेक्शंस चल रहे हैं. आई होप यू हैव वोटेड फॉर. ओके. तो what is your take regarding one nation one election?
That it is an idea, but whereby we can have one single election wherein we will vote for national election, state election, as well as municipal election, municipal or local bodies election. It has both positive and negative sides. Positively, it will save time for the government servants as well as all the government schemes that are or development plans of government. They are put in hold due to frequent model code of conduct application. So it will put an end to that. It will save money due to conduct of election because conducting election it takes a lot of money, and it will also prevent frequent politicization of our public policy. But negatively, sir, it will also hamper accountability of a government because a democratic government is accountable only through election by common folk. So it will reduce accountability, and moreover, it will be very difficult to implement. It will be requiring a large scale consensus because we cannot force any. First of all, just to adapt to this system, will need a consensus, just like we did with GST. And secondly, to implement this system, like for example, if we have midterm election in any place, so we have
Well,
to
Sanskar, you are telling me the merits and demerits of one nation one election. What I have asked, what is your opinion? What is your take? Whether it is feasible in India or not? If you are an administrator, would you go for this scheme or you will reject this scheme?
as an administrator, I believe it is a good scheme because it will help us in focusing more on development rather than, and it will also reduce to some extent the political pressures that are present by executives. So it is a good scheme, but it will require large scale preparation so that no, because all the three schemes of election they will go on together, so it will require large scale uh, uh, handling of manpower and synchronization of all the levels.
अच्छा, अभी 4 जून को रिजल्ट आ रहा है. आपको क्या लगता है कौन जीतेगा?
The party which will gain majority of 272 will win.
ओके 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 ओके. चलिए. अच्छा, आपने अभी सुन रखा होगा संस्कार, उत्तराखंड ने यूनिफॉर्म सिविल कोड पास किया, यूसीसी, the first state in India who has just now passed the UCC. So if you have gone through the news, so the bill was sent to the president. Ideally the state bill is sent to the governor. Why the UCC bill was sent to the president?
I cannot, I cannot recall that.
Well, all the concurrent subjects, if the state is implementing a concurrent subject, the bill is sent to the president, because if there is a clash, the state bill can be dominated by the center, if the center legislate on that issue. That's why the bill was sent to the. Okay. Do you know about Nanda Rajat Yatra?
I have read about that in news, but I cannot figure out the details.
Okay.
It was recently in news.
Panch Kedar.
Yes, sir. They are the five pilgrimage sites of the of Lord Shiva, sir.
The highest Shiva temple in the world.
Sir, I cannot. I cannot
Tungnath.
recall. Tungnath.
Tungnath. Okay. See, Sanskar, since you are coming for the interview of Uttarakhand PCS and you belong to Madhya Pradesh, okay. अगर आपका दोनों PCS में simultaneously selection होता है, suppose आपके इधर यहाँ training चल रही है and simultaneously you have cracked the Madhya Pradesh PCS, so which state will you choose?
Decision will be based on rank of my selection and the service that I am being allotted. So if I am getting deputy collector in any state, sir, I'll choose that.
Okay.
Or based on my choice of selection.
Okay. So you regarding your hobbies, you have just mentioned that your hobbies is watching movies. What are parallel movies? Parallel cinema?
Parallel cinema it goes on simultaneously with commercial cinema. It is basically, it started in 1970s, so it focuses not on commercial aspect of cinema,
Okay.
but social aspect of cinema. It highlights the social issues, and they do not present them in a very commercial way with dance numbers and things like that, but they show the raw realities of society, and they do not depend, they have limited budget, so they do not depend on box office and revenues to generate uh, returns, but they generally gain more returns through screening at different film festivals and other places.
You are from KMC, Kirodi Mill College. Okay. Can you tell me some of the main alumni from KMC?
The most famous alumni is the Star of Millennium, Amitabh Bachchan, sir. Then we have a large alumni network in Hindi movie industry, such as Satish Kaushik sir and Sushant Singh sir.
तो
And
आपने कभी थिएटर में नहीं प्रैक्टिस की, थिएटर में नहीं ट्राई किया?
sir, I like to watch more than to act.
ओके ओके. अच्छा, ये अभी डोंट यू थिंक संस्कार, अभी हमारे क्या जो इलेक्शंस चल रहे हैं, ये पार्लियामेंट्री इलेक्शंस कम प्रेसिडेंशियल इलेक्शंस ज्यादा हो रहे हैं? इज इट ट्रू?
Yes, sir. Like compared to past, our elections have seen more of a personality cult. That we have a central figures in all the parties. We have a central figure around them. Entire narrative is being built, and the focus is less on policy and local issues, but more on national issues and national leader.
Okay.
So the centralization of election, we can witness that in many places. Candidates like the local voters, they do not even know the local candidate, but their voting preference is being shaped by national leaders.
Okay. What is Setu in Uttarakhand, Sanskar? Setu.
What?
Setu. SETU.
Setu pull like the
No, beta, no. I will send you the material. I will send you the material. Setu
Setu
is just like Niti Ayog. It is just like Niti Ayog. It was formed in July 2023. I will send you the material. I will send you the material. Okay, Sanskar. Just I'm here. I'm winding up the things. मैं आपको अभी mute कर रहा हूँ, and then I will give you the feedback. Just in a moment. Okay.
Sure.